This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life.
Hello everybody, it's Paul Neese with the Raw Life Health Show. I have some exciting stuff to show you today. I have a fellow on the show named Barry who has an amazing farm in Vista, California. Check this out, folks. The main thing he has on his farm, he has over 200 fruit trees, but the main thing he has is figs. And of all these figs, he has 7 varieties here, but there's this fig here. This was called a tiger stripe fig, right?
Tiger fig, yeah.
And it's, this is, what's the name of this? Besides
it's called panache.
Panache.
Yeah.
All
Tiger
these figs
fig
are
or
amazing. He has
variegated.
black mission, he has black brown turkey, he has all these different types of figs, but this one is my favorite one. Well, just to show you where I am today, I'm going to walk around the property with him, and he's going to show you some of his many fruit trees that he has, and he's also going to leave his contact information. If you're in the California area, you can contact him, but even if not, you can get through mail order, you can get some of his stuff, so check it out now.
The best way I like to connect with people is for you to call me at 760-455-1261, and I also do mail order. Unfortunately, figs will not order, but avocados and other items that I have seasonally are available. You just have to have a conversation with me, and I'll be happy to ship to you any place in the country. Hi, this is the Diana fig. It's one of the largest figs known to man, and the way I planted my trees is this particular one comes in later. So as a result, I have some trees coming in now. So as a result, I'll be able to extend the period of time that I have to offer people figs. Usually, trees and fruit, it has a 3-month cycle. But this particular one now will go into 4 or 5 months. So I'll be able to fig out with people for a continuous period of time. Yeah. So this is called Diana. This is a Satsuma tangerine right here. This one's a white mulberry. They're very, very small, but they're the sweetest of the mulberries. Obviously, it's not in season right now. And this is a Hass avocado. This one's another Satsuma tangerine. If I had to do it over again, I probably wouldn't plant things like this because it's without seeds. And actually, the fruit that we want to eat has seeds in it, so it can reproduce itself. So I really believe that food that is without seeds has been manipulated by man and not in our best interest, because what we want to do is recreate ourselves, and what we're striving to consume the food for is for life, and it's not giving us the full vitality and the potential of being thriving and really being vibrantly healthy. That's my take on it. This is a Meyer lemon. It's one of my best crops. They're small right now, they're out of season, but I actually sell a lot of them at the farmer's market. People love these. I call them the Cadillac Rolls Royce Mercedes-Benz of the lemons, and they're very thin skinned, they're very juicy, they're a little bit sweeter than a Eureka lemon, but lemons especially are very good for you because they alkalinize the body, and if you're transitioning and wanting to get healthier, most people are very acidic, and what we want to do is become more alkaline. To be more natural, more healthy. Lemon and water is excellent in the morning, so I recommend Meyer lemons or Eureka lemon or whatever lemon you get to utilize in your drink, and to have that in the morning is a great way to start the day. And besides just taking an outer shower, you end up taking an inner shower. So this is another Meyer lemon right here, and this one is called Lima Dulce. It's a sweet lime. And they use these a lot in Mexico. Iranians and Mexican people swear by them, especially Iranians. They consider this to be the healthiest of all fruits that you can actually consume. And if anytime you have an ailment or you're not feeling well, you have these, it immediately helps you. You never have to see a doctor. You have 5 of these and you're healed. So it's really interesting. This is another Meyer lemon tree. And here look at this, passion fruit. It's a brand new vine. I have to change this, but this just came up on its own. And obviously these get so heavy, this is not going to be able to be held up by this little stick. But I'm going to change the structure of it. But here's a beautiful passion fruit, and we get a chance to have this. This is really amazing. It alters any beverage you put it with. The seeds are really good for you, and I love them. I have them quite a bit. At the Fig Delicious party, we're going to be having passion fruit elixirs. So, moving on. This is an interesting cactus right here. It's a 2-in-1. I actually planted it 17 years ago. It was this big. It took off. It has its own personality. And for one day only, all of these become flowers. The flowers are as big as our head, and they're white, and then there's a symphony that comes on from all the bees that are parading inside the pollen. So this whole thing becomes a beautiful flower arrangement, but it only lasts for one day.
One day a year?
One day, well actually twice a year, but it actually comes on. It's totally amazing. So I really consider this to be the vortex. I call this the Vista Vortex, and this is the way of protecting and leaving the bad spirits and bad energy out in the world, and this is what actually shelters me and introduces people to the property. Yeah. Okay, we'll move on to the back. Is this kind of the fly? The way
Yeah, it's going good.
Okay.
Doing great.
I always have something to say. So.
Is every tree on the property producing, or are some just for show?
Everything I have here is for edible. I don't have anything but a few succulents. But other than that, everything's for edible. So I don't really grow. I mean, this was here already, but I just had my grapes. They're pretty much finished now, but that's the remains of it. This is the tree that you're loving so much. This is the white sapote. And you can see most of them are still green. And what I do is I recycle water, so everything from the shower goes through pipes and it waters the tree. So I have a reuse of the water. A second use or a third
So
reuse.
this is the white sapote tree. What kind of white sapote is it?
It's called Subel. And
yeah.
we want to wait till they get a little more yellow. So they're coming on really nice. This doesn't really usually grow really large. It's interesting, most really healthy foods don't grow large if they're really healthy, especially strawberries. If a strawberry's too big, I would be very suspicious by it, because usually organic strawberries are small. So this particular fruit doesn't grow large, but the thing about it is it's really vital and delicious. Actually, some of them are larger than others, but you had some earlier and they were all wonderful.
Perfect, yeah.
It doesn't matter the size.
Do you cut the tree at all, or no?
I do cut the tree because it does take off, so we did prune it and all the leaves and everything, so we just recently did that. But anyways, this is one of the foods that France loves so much. I believe they grow in Spain. I'm not sure about that, but it's one of the unique foods that we have here in Southern California that is sought after by Europeans. So I actually ship it to them. So, moving on here. This area right here is apples. I have the Anna apples. It's early apple for the summertime. And then these are Fuyu persimmons. Everybody loves them. You eat them like an apple. And they're about 2 months off before they start ready to eat. But I have some trees that are just filled. This one doesn't have a lot of fruit on it, but they're wonderful. And then over here, we've got, I was picking this morning, so I can't really, well, I don't know. I might be able to find a ripe one and show you what it looks like, but these are the panache right here. So this is one of the earlier figs. It's called White Genoa. There's still a few up there. And this is a fig tree that comes on real early. In handling figs, you don't want to push too hard because the branches are very brittle. It's easy to break a fig tree. But the thing is, they recover very quickly, a lot faster than actually people do. And there's one up there. I might be able to reach it. Yes, I can. Without breaking it. Let's see, there's... it's not quite ripe, but almost. When they get ripe, they get yellower. They have a lighter look. And you can see this one's not as... But they have to be soft. It's pretty much the way you pick the fig determines the sweetness. So the idea is to only choose the ones that are soft. And this one's almost quite there. You could actually try that if you like. just break it open. Always, in handling fruit, you always want to open it up before you put your mouth into it because you never know what lives inside. That one's not going to be quite as sweet, but it'll still be okay. You can tell it was soft. The other key is to open it up. You look what's inside. You can tell the sugar content just by looking at it. And you also don't want to have any creatures in there going into your body. We have enough of them living there already. So this one is a white Genoa. This one right over here is the variegated fig, the ones you love so much. They're very prolific.
Yeah, what are these called?
They're called variegated tiger fig or panache. These particular trees actually came from France. My former girlfriend bought them for me. That was nice of her. Thank you very much.
Yeah, just red on the inside, dark red jelly like.
Yeah, they're really, really good. So we got all the trees here, and these wrap around the house. They go all the way to the back. So over here is more of the same.
So panache and also tiger stripe figs.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I've been. The thing about it is it's interesting. These little beetles right here. They actually they're eating the figs. That's what they do. They eat figs. So this one is probably overripe, but it looks pretty amazing if you think about it. Why would anybody want to make jam when all you have to do is jam it in your mouth? You don't have to prepare anything. You don't have to cook it, and it's perfect just the way it is. This is the chocolate sapote right here. They don't grow as plentiful or as abundant. These are the buds right here. It's going to be producing the fruit. So this was grows in Florida, and when they're really ripe, they taste like chocolate pudding. This is the kind of chocolate you could eat, not the other kind.
Exactly.
Yeah,
my tree's like
10 times as big.
Probably,
I have a
really
big one in the back.
Yeah.
I'll show it to you. This is another white Genoa right here. So they're kind of getting towards the end right here. So I don't have a lot of fruit on this tree, but I do have some. Yeah, it's getting there. Then over here, this is called a white fig. The beetles love these. These ripen very, very quickly. When these get ripe, they're really delicious.
Now, do you cut all these trees back as well?
When they go dormant, which is probably around December or January, you want to cut them down. I cut them as high as I am, so they love to be cut back, and you have to do it for you to really get a crop. If you let them grow, they're going to get really big, and you're not going to get a lot of fruit. So the only way, every year, it's a time-consuming process, but we actually cut the trees back, and what you want to do is not to allow any of the branches to cross. You want to have the open inside, the inside open, that is, and so it has space to grow.
When you cut them back, what do you paint over the end of the?
I have done in the past, but I haven't this year.
Okay.
No, I just
do you think it makes a difference?
Slightly, you know.
Okay.
But the potential is if you leave it open, it could actually get some kind of fungus or disease in there. But fortunately, I didn't have that happen.
Okay.
So the beetles love this, and when I shake the tree, they usually come flying out. But yeah, here you can hear them.
He's dropping some figs there, bro.
Well, it's okay. It's what's a fig or two between us? And over here is another. This is another panache or variegated fig. These people really love. I can't have enough of these.
These are the tiger ones, right?
Yeah, these are tiger. I'm actually considering growing more of these because they're so popular, and I do so well with them financially. So, anyways, so that's this area. And what I've done is something called jungle farming, where normally you're supposed to put trees 10 to 15 feet apart. What I've done obviously is a lot shorter, so in some cases I have them 10 feet apart, and they kind of intertwine. You can see how they run into the grapes and everything. But I like the jungle effect, and just to experience the abundance for the amount of land that I have. So Anyways, this is a black mission right here. Most people like these especially because they tend to be very sweet. Here's one right here. It's ready to go. And now I'm twisting your arm to offer you that. Actually, I'll have one with you. Instead of tipping glasses, we're going to tip figs. Just open it up. That's the first thing you want to do. And
So these are the most popular figs out there.
These are the most popular, yeah. Mm. Big and good. They say l'chaim.
L'chaim, I was gonna say that.
L'chaim with figs.
Mm-hmm.
It's a life. It's a life. This is what creates life. Not dead food. They call it food, it's not even food. But putting food, this is real food, from nature with the least amount of processes, picking it, consuming it, is actually where you get the concept for fast food. Most kids, you know, I go to give a talk at classes, I say, where do you get fast food? They say McDonald's, Henry's, or whatever all the names are. I said, no, where you get fast food? You walk up to the tree, you pick the fruit and put it in your mouth. That's the fastest food there is.
Mm-hmm. I'm gonna use that.
So, right now, this is a Brazilian guava. It's going to be available in about a month. These are very, very flavorful. I use them in blended drinks. You can eat them straight out. This has more fiber than any fruit. Right here, guavas.
One of my favorites that we can't get in Florida is the pineapple guava.
I have them right here.
Yeah,
I'll show them to you.
those are the best smelling fruits out there.
Mm-hmm. This is a Hass avocado.
So good, like perfume.
It's in process of starting to put out new fruit. And this is an Asian pear right here. I haven't been eating them, but I'm thinking about cutting them up for the party and offer them to everybody. But they're very crunchy, and Asian people really like them a lot. I really grow and love a lot of oranges, so I have the Valencia oranges right here. This is a new tree. It's only a year and a half old, but it's starting to get really abundant. You can see them.
Do you plant these from seed or?
No, I plant everything from small tree. Yeah.
Where do you get the small trees?
There's a nursery real close by that has really good integrity, and that's right.
Now, is there a reason why this side of the tree has so many more green than the other, or is it just the sun?
You know, it has to do with the weather. It has to do with the climate, the warmth, the watering. I don't have the reason for it, but I just accept what it has to offer me. You know. So, anyways, this is a Pinkerton avocado. Once again, they're not in season right now, but the tree's nice and healthy, and it's going to be producing more fruit soon. This is a brand new tree. I actually lost 3 trees and I replanted them, and this is only about 6 months old, and it's already starting to show a lot of life here. One of the things I do, I like to do things, not putting a bad rap on Judaism, but I like to do the Jewish plan. So I go to a place in Escondido, and it's a gravestones. And when they're making the gravestones, and they have all the broken pieces, they give them away freely because they don't want to take them to the landfill. So they give them away. So I go get them, and I utilize them as far as ways of holding the water in, and also the aesthetics. And it has the sign of the universe, and it creates like a nice flow. So I connect with rocks a lot, and I really believe that rocks next to aloe vera is the oldest forms of materiality on the planet. So what I like to do is I tune into them, and as an artist I'm really intrigued by them. They have a story to tell, and as I get more connected to them, they're more connected to me, and a lot unfolds before me. So I integrate my artistic expression with the trees. Yeah. So over here we have what's coming on right now. A lot are the guavas. This is a Mexican guava, and actually I picked up some earlier, but these are going to be exploding. This whole thing's going to look like Christmas, like a Christmas tree. All these are going to turn in color within the next 2 weeks.
Wow.
So you can see how abundant that is. And then we can keep moving here. One of my trees just fell down and I had to get it picked up. But we'll have to walk around it. This is a Mexican lime tree. It's got a lot more pungent flavor. It's almost like the key lime from Florida. And some people make key lime pie, so I don't recommend pie. But it's really, really good in a drink. And you squeeze some of that, it's really delicious. So I picked these when they're yellow. And this is, we could go around this way. Because the tree fell, it's kind of in the way. This is a kumquat. It's out of season right now. But this variety is the sweetest one. You could eat them just directly from the tree. It's they're all Asian, but they're out of season right now. But I will be having them again. This is the Fuyu persimmon that's coming up. See how beautiful the fruit is. They're still obviously green. They're starting to get a little bit of color. But anyways, I'm glad to have you. Glad to have you here. And then we're moving forward. This bigger tree is the Fuyu persimmon, the Haitia, and those are the kind you eat soft. This bigger fruit gets really, really big, and they're like balloons after they start getting ripe, and they're really good in a smoothie. It's really good for your colon. They're high in vitamin C. They're very sweet. They're very yummy, and a lot of people that are into health, your choices, will eat these. Yeah. So this is very popular. Then I have another persimmon tree here. This is another Fuyu.
And all of this is on like 1.5 acres.
1 1/3 acres.
Wow.
Yeah. You can see it's just very jungle farming. And then I have the brown turkey figs over here. I've got some new avocado trees I planted. This over here is another tiger fig. I have quite a few of these. Once again, they're the most popular, and there's one right there that's going to be, no, not quite. It has to be soft. But the way you can tell a fig is ripe, usually they're cracked right here in the center part, and they're leaning over, and then they usually get plump. But this one is not quite right there, and ripe, and I don't want to pick it because I'm not playing a service to the fig or to me. So this is a brown turkey right here. Not my favorite, but they're very common and a lot of people like them. So I happen to have this tree, and you can see how prolific it is. It's amazing.
You cut this one back a lot.
Yeah, I did. Yeah. And you don't want to overwater fig trees, because what happened last year is I overwatered them, and every time I picked it up it was like a water balloon, and they just like fell apart. So they need to be moist, but not overwatered, because what it's going to do is it's going to affect the inside of the fruit, and that's what we're really after. So you can see the abundance of just a small little tree, how much you could actually grow.
Wow.
Absolutely.
And you don't have to really have a farm. You could just be an individual with a backyard and grow a tree like this. You have enough for the whole season for your small family. So everybody doesn't have to be a farmer. Like what I consider myself to, I'm a gentleman farmer, you know, or you could be a Miss Farmer or a misfit farmer, or you have all kinds of options. So this is an indication it's starting to get ready. Once again, look at how it's cracked and how it's leaning over and it's starting to get big. That's the indication of knowing when a fig is starting to get ripe. And then more over here. I grow all kinds of apples here. Passion fruit vine, you can see how abundant it is over here. The passion fruit is not, you don't want to pick it, you want it to drop, and then the time to have it is when it wrinkles. When it wrinkles, like here's one right here. Now this wouldn't be ready to use. If you wanted to use it, you could, but it's going to be sour. You want to wait till it gets wrinkled, and then it's ripe. They actually fall to the ground. You actually pick them up. And then every time I pick one up, it's about $1. So who said money doesn't grow on the ground? Anyways. And then over here, we're moving forward. I grow more Valencia oranges, the peach tree. There's more, you can see over there the passion fruit growing all over the place. Actually, if a person has a lot of land and they want to create a quick way of creating greenery in their land, plant the passion fruit because it actually grows 40 feet a year under the perfect condition, especially here in Southern California. So anyways.
Do you ever cut it back or no?
You do if it starts going too much on the ground, because then animals will get it. But these tomatoes, these are wild tomatoes. So yes, it's not quite ripe enough, but they just grow wild here, and I don't even water them. It's a dry farm tomato, cherry tomato. They're really, really good. So we're into food combining, so I don't want to mix them. Yeah. Now over here I have lots of pomegranates. This is high in antioxidants. It's an amazing food. Anybody that's into health loves the pomegranates, the juice especially. I've got some redder ones. We're about 2 months off on these, but you can see how beautiful they are. And it's really a good fruit to grow. Here's one that's getting ripe. See, it's got a little sunburn right here. It's starting to get red. So pretty soon I'll be having the pomegranates available. This is called Osborne Prolific. The reason why it's called that, because it actually is very prolific. This one is ready right here. You can see it's cracked. See how it's leaning over? It's like telling me, pick me. So when I come by later with a box, I'll pick that one. I'll pick this one. This one looks ready, but it's not. Yes, it is. It's just not as much color. Yeah, these two are ready too. So I got 4 figs within a second. Bang, put my finger on $5. Who said money doesn't grow on trees? Here we go. So, quite a few of them in here. This is a Cara navel orange tree. They come out in the wintertime, and they're nice and green right now, but they will turn. And over here, I've got another white Genoa. These are amongst people's favorite of all the figs. Yeah, here we go. This is Fig Delicious. This is part of your fig party right here. Break it open and enjoy. You'll be figging out. Flavor. And then if
what were those called?
These are called white Genoa. They're like, I call them Christmas figs. And the customers that come to the farmer's market are always asking me, do you have any of the Christmas figs? Because they forget the name white Genoa.
So how do you deal with rodents out here?
Not a whole lot of rodents. I mean, I have some, but I used to have a cat, but it disappeared. And I don't know. I go around the property and I pick up fruit on the ground, off the ground, so it doesn't attract a lot of them. And I keep the place as clean as possible. I view my land almost like you would view a kitchen. You always want to have a pristinely clean kitchen. I do the same thing with the land, because actually all of this is going into people's mouths. So kind of, this is my nature's kitchen.
Now I have grass at home that I covered with wood chips and mulch, and it grew back. The grass grew back through the mulch. So did you kill it, or was it like this when you got it?
I didn't kill it. No. I just what I do is twice a year I add more mulch to it. It's a lot of work, but I keep building it up. It does take a certain amount of nutrients from the trees, nitrogen, but the way I just add more nitrogen to the trees, but I just keep building it up. And what's beautiful about this, it keeps the weeds down, and it's also like a blanket for me to walk on, so when it gets rainy, I'm not walking in mud.
Sure.
So it adds to the ambiance of what I've created here. And here's a beautiful fig happening. You see how cracked it is? This is ready to go. So
is that the tiger stripe one?
This is a tiger, yeah. More oranges. These are the best grapefruits down here. They're called cocktail grapefruits. And I have an abundant crop of these. I actually have more room to plant more trees. It's an ongoing process. Some fall, some don't. I've got more passion fruit down here on the ground. You know, it's like, who needs to go to the gym? This is my gym right here. People always ask me, you know, do you work out? I said, no, I work in my property, you know. So I'm very active. I'm working, I'm hauling, I'm lifting, and you know, we could be vital at any age.
What's this tree here?
This particular one is a apricot, and didn't have much fruit on it this year. Something went on, but hopefully next year it's going to be more so. This particular tree is really interesting. It's a 2-in-1. The bottom part is a Caracara navel orange. The top is a lemon that's actually sour. So I call it sour lemon orange. And I was actually able to sell some of them. But people with ethnic backgrounds seem to like them. It's like a sour orange. Yeah. And then over here, I just planted recently 2 more sapote trees. This is all new here. These 2 over here. It's another tiger fig. It doesn't look like a lot, but there's a lot going on here. You know?
Oh, it looks like a lot.
Yeah.
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 And you can just see, I mean, it's just going around and picking things up. And
There's the beautiful flowers of the passion fruit. They're so
Yeah.
beautiful.
there you go. It's about $2 right there. Whoops. You got it. So this is the way I go around picking up fruit. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah. This is it. So, like Grandma. Planting more trees. There's more fig trees. This is more of the Osborne prolific. There's so many of them. Come on, it's like, wow. Who says there's not abundance on the planet? And you go to these stores and they're charging for 1 fig $2. Look how much is here. And all we have to do is get back to the land and start taking responsibility for growing our own. We could get beyond all the high prices of everything. So this is another apple tree. These are called Chiraco blood oranges. It's a rainbow effect. It looks like a tangerine. It tastes like a tangerine. So yeah, this one's coming on. It's more winter time. This is a strawberry lemon guava. I don't have too many on this tree, but I have another tree. I'll show them to you. It's back up here. And anyways, while we're here, we'll just be here. Be here now.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a good size. This is the chocolate sapote right here. Yeah. This is a pretty good size right here. You can see the comings of the fruit right there.
Yeah.
So for some reason it loves it right here, and look at the results. It's just incredible. And then this is where I bring all my compost, everything. Nothing gets thrown away. I return it even if it goes bad. That's already been broken down. That's more of a new pile. I do it the old-fashioned way. There's actually professional ways of creating compost piles. I kind of do it the old-fashioned way. And rather than using machines, I use my arms and I turn the whole thing over. I put it through a strainer. I get rid of all the debris and then I put it under my trees. When you're putting it under the trees, you never want to put it directly on the trunk. You want to do it always 6 inches from this so it doesn't really create a lot of heat and will burn the tree. So you always want to have it a distance away. But what you do is you put it to the outer umbrella of the tree and that will fertilize all the roots. This is brand new right here. I've had this is only 3 months old.
Wow.
And look at all the bananas coming up. This is a banana tree. Look at them all. Yeah. Maybe 5 months old, but it's very new. Bananas grow very beautifully here, and I can't wait to taste them. They're amazing. And so anyways, I've had gardens here in the past. Right now it's kind of in a dormant state. I'm growing dragon fruit, just experimenting with that. This is the soil that's been actually strained, and I'm ready to put this under the trees. And here's your favorite right here. It's the lemon guava. It's also called feijoa. And they're starting to come on. It's a little bit early, but I have a couple of trees like this. This is it right here. Actually, the flower is edible, and some people have parties just with the flowers before even the fruit comes on.
Wow.
But they're called feijoa or pineapple guava. Over here is the cherimoyas. To really get a good crop of cherimoya, normally you have to pollinate them. I don't do it because of my time strain or restrain or whatever strain. But here it is, and I do get quite a few of them. I have 3 here, and I have a couple more elsewhere on the property. But this is a lovely fruit. It's really interesting. It originated in South America, and there it's actually summertime when it grows. They brought it to this hemisphere, which is actually the polar opposite. So in the wintertime we have fruit here.
Wow.
So it's the fruit that actually grows in the winter.
Nice.
Yeah, so it's cherimoya, and yeah, I don't pollinate them, but they do pollinate themselves. Actually, in South America, the reason why you get much larger fruit is because there's an insect that's so small that's able to penetrate the blossom and pollinate. Here it's hit or miss, it's mainly from ants. But there are actually courses you could take where you actually use a brush and you pollinate the fruit, and it will get larger. So, yeah. And then here's a new one right here. I also grow aloe vera. This particular one's called the king aloe. It's really good if anybody unfortunately had cancer or any kind of internal disorder. It's really good for cleansing the body. And it's very, very healing, very soothing. The best way I like to connect with people is for you to call me at 760-455-1261. And I also do mail order. Unfortunately, figs will not order, but avocados and other items that I have seasonally are available. You just have to have a conversation with me, and I'll be happy to ship to you any place in the country.
Nature's wealth, good for your health. This is the Raw Life Health Show. Raw Life, brighten up your life.